clutch is gone. And the flywheel. Look, they're over there. Me and Nick are in the shop today. It's a Sunday. And yesterday, Saturday, my buddy Chris and me took his clutch out. Chris is a mechanic at a concrete place, and he went to school at Uno as well, like Nick's going, and he went for ag mechanics or diesel something, I don't know, but they worked on semis and tractors and stuff, and he come over and he helped me take that out. We inspected it, and you'll see all that later in this video. But what I'm out here doing today is I'm going to finish wrapping my wires, and I'm going to scrape these frame rails, get this crud off, get the crud off the spring hangers there, and clean it up a little bit. So I explain later in the video the decision on the clutch, what it looks like. The main seal's leaking, so that'll have to get changed. Chris will probably help us do that. He's got a transmission jack, so we'll probably have him help us put the transmission back in. Now we could do it. We use that motorcycle jack and the engine hoist. So, but I'd rather have him do it with the transmission jack. He's got some more experience than I do, and we'll get this truck going eventually. Clutch's not going to be cheap. He told me that seal's not cheap. So, I don't know, but we'll progress for a few hours here anyways. It's Sunday. It's later in the day Sunday. So, we'll get what we can done and catch up with you when we get there.
Alright, so now that we don't have a clutch jack, we're going to have to manhandle this thing out of here.
You're not going to be awkward. You just got to act like you're talking to me.
You're going to want to take and put this back in. Go over to the store or whatever, get some of these bolts, ain't thread and all that. Get them longer. Cut the heads off of them. That way, what you do is when you put it back in, you'll thread them in. When you cut the head off of them, cut a slit in them so you can get a flathead screwdriver in there. And
Use them as a
guide bolt.
yeah.
Alignment bolt.
You got a heater. Let me see what's in the propane.
You got a small come along?
Nope.
Huh?
So I think only half of this heater works, and I can't figure out why the rest doesn't work.
Oh yeah, that clutch brake is shot.
Clutch brake was?
No, or not clutch brake,
The clutch?
bearing.
Oh. Yeah, it made a god-awful racket when we bought it.
Yeah.
Then I greased it and it quit making noise.
When you take this clutch out, I'm not taking each bolt out. I'm bringing them out to the end, since all this is under pressure. Because if you take them all out and then come down to the last one, it's gonna freaking blow up right in front of you almost. Just mad at broken.
Yeah, it was like $6.
It's mad.
I thought about buying two of them and making a big mat. I need to find a good creeper.
you want to spend?
Well, the theme for creepers is about 60 bucks, so.
I can get you one from Matco for $100. You'll fall in love with this thing.
What is it? Like one of them hard plastic ones?
Nope.
No?
Nope. It's got cushion on it, but it's long. It's not fat, it's long. So it's designed for going in between truck doors. But you can fit your whole body on it. That's what's nice.
For $100 bucks?
Yeah, I think that's what I paid for mine. I've had mine for 3 or 4 years now. It's held up for a year. I guess the nice thing about taking it out without a clutch jack is you can take it out in pieces almost. You got rags.
Yeah, I got paper towels and I got cloth rags, whatever one you want.
Go out to my truck. There's a back seat. On the floor there's a bag full of red rags. You can have them if you want. Well, that's good. Getting ready to take the last bolt out. So when we take it out, we gotta make sure everything is in what position it came out as in, you know what I mean? So if you do end up putting this clutch back in, you like the friction disc, intermediate plate and all that need to be lined up back where it was.
You want to mark it? I got markers.
No, you don't. No.
No?
Give me a rag. Now this style here is this is a full surface disc. The newer ones have sections. Now we're out. This one's got the notches too, so you gotta line all them up too. You're definitely gonna have to research this flywheel.
Yeah, great.
You got stress cracks. We'll get it up close. You got stress cracks all the way through there. Then there's clutch has still got some life left in it, a little bit, but you're almost down to them rivets. Once them rivets start showing, that's time for a new one.
That former H I got, it was down past the rivets. It was about 8 out of it.
Yeah. So.
So that's what's been this clutch.
Yes, that's it. Now when we put this back in, we'll get that close up here. On your new clutch, you're gonna have, it'll say flywheel side and pressure plate side, so you're gonna have to make sure that goes all back together. So you got a lot of stretch cracks in the intermediate plate too.
I think the kit for all that's like $600.
It's gonna be worth it, I'm telling you.
That's how I'd be doing it. Clutch strap. Pittsburgh tools. Take that back a bit. Right. Alright, I'm gonna slide this clutch out over here. Get that way. Pull it out and do that close back.
Alright, we're back. We're gonna get the flywheel off since we got the right tool this time.
I think I got Chris talked into making mechanics videos too. You got to think of a good name for your channel, Chris. We only got 15 minutes, so. Boom.
It didn't come out. See, that's on my watch.
Just to give everybody a heads up, this gun, you can get this thing for like $300. Comes with 2 batteries, 5.0s. And now, the battery I got on it is the new 9.0, which when I first got this gun, it still does it. I can run this gun for 2 weeks straight with that battery and it won't die.
Oh yeah. I think I've only charged mine. It comes with a little bitty battery stuff I got, and I can run that stuff for months.
Okay,
without charging.
this is gonna be
Don't hurt yourself. Beer doesn't cover hospital bills.
yeah, it does. Oh yeah.
Would it help if I got up in there and grabbed it and kind of lowered it down?
Not with this much space.
I'm talking about from up top.
It's down now.
That main seal look good?
Nope.
Oh, Jesus.
So now that we got the flywheel out, you got rear main seal leaking, which is not too bad of a project. That means I'll probably have to go get more of my tools.
Probably. You'll probably have to do that because that's almost beyond my skill level right now.
Yeah. What I usually use to get them out, I got a slide hammer kit from Mako that it's got an adapter. You put a self tapper take a self tapper, you drill it in there, and you put that adapter on there, and you take that slide hammer, and it pops right out. Alright, here we are at the flywheel out of the truck. Clean up all the buildup. That's coming from the outer ring here. But right here was the stress cracks we were talking about. Mainly on the outside.
Definitely not pretty.
But this is all, these streaks you hear, that's just pure slipping. Right there's a big heat spot right there. And then move over to the clutch. Your clutch is not going to have much more than that on there to begin with, but today's clutches, the material that they use, they last. They have a heck of a lot longer, and they're a lot tougher. So we're going to set this facing down. Here, this is the immediate plate.
Got a lot of heat.
Got a lot of heat crack right there. A little bit of riding the clutch there. When you get a new one, you see marks, these marks in here. That's what the new one will look like.
So that's probably, that hasn't been put in too long ago.
Probably not.
I bet you that transmission's been out before because they ripped the wires for the reverse lights off. They probably had it apart when they put a clutch in it.
Yeah, that one there's got good material on it yet. But you see the rivets. I mean, there's not that much left till you hit them rivets.
Yeah. Now we got the pressure plate.
Pressure plate. This is one of them things, like, you get a better view of what clutch looks like when it's new. Right there. It'll have them marks in there. Like that all the way around.
And hash marks.
Um,
Like brake rotors.
Yep. But biggest thing with this, you know, what you talked about, it's sitting for a while, is how strong these springs are going to be in the fingers.
Mm-hmm.
So, one of them break, you're pretty much screwed.
Now, are those rebuildable or
Nope.
no?
Well, with the clutch, you're gonna.
I know you can buy everything as a kit. Pressure plate, the clutches, the intermediate plate.
Yeah, you're gonna. There's a core on these, because they take them in, they rebuild them. Right there, what did
I think you got that other one upside down. That other clutch plate.
Yep. Now,
They're probably worth more in scrap than they are a core.
no,
No?
that's probably a.
And then we forgot the pilot bearing and the
Yeah. You see
the rest and
that's a
stuff
pre-packed pilot bearing. So, as you see all the way around there, the grease is getting outside of it. That means your seal is
That's
going
probably
bad.
oil from the engine and
No.
transmission. No.
No, that's grease.
And then the throw-out bearing on the bottom of the pressure plate. That's part of the pressure plate.
Yep.
That thing don't stick with hoot.
So, what do I
There's a
do?
power button right there. Hit it a couple times. One more. There you go.
So, here's your throw-out bearing. You can see right now it's tight because we released everything. But when everything's loose, that will spin. And a whole full rotation. Right here is where you can tell your clutch brake was sitting. You can tell how, I mean, where it was at. It's pretty wore down in there. So,
And you recommend the two-piece clutch brake.
yes.
And I
You
got
want-
the single piece. So I got to take
You-
that back.
You want a two-piece, especially working in construction like I do, or over the road trucks. You're when you get drivers that, so you got good drivers and you got okay drivers and drivers that just shouldn't be on the road. But good drivers don't use it as hard. But when they do get used and you got to replace them, they're a pain. At least a two-piece you can replace in probably 10-20 minutes, depending on how it comes out. But one piece, you're going to be sitting there for an hour probably, motherfucking everything in sight, because you're going to be having to cut it out with a carbide bit and a die grinder.
Yeah. And that is what, a Dana Spicer?
Yes.
14 inch?
Yep.
Alright, we got to order some parts. Alright, so I got the frame rails scraped off. There's all the junk that came off of them. I found all kinds of bolts and goodies. I got the grease scraped off the spring hangers there. I got our fuel tank wire run. I put a protector on here. That's pond aeration hose. You can see it gets a little crazy up there, but that's the way the wires were run. And it had, I don't even know where it went, some little curly protector on it. I put that on there, so that'll work out good. Now I just got to run the reverse wires through it, so I got out from under the cab and do that. Alright, so I'm done for the night. I got my fuel gauge wire run, and I had it connected. You'll notice the screws are out of the fuel gauge. I put the battery, hooked the batteries up on the truck, turned the key on, and I didn't like where the fuel gauge was reading compared to where it actually was. It was reading about 3/4 of a tank, over 3/4 of a tank, when it really has about half a tank. So I need to adjust the float in there, and I adjusted it. I went to put it back in, and when I did that, it made the mount too long, so I think I got to cut it off so it'll fit, and then trim the wire to match. But that's going to be it for the week. Hopefully I can get the clutch pulling video out, and this, and some. I got 3 videos I really need to get going on, and get them put together. One's about 3 weeks old, one's a week old, and one's a day old yet. So, but it's snowing. They were calling for 2 to 4 inches. First it was 3 to 6, then it was 2 to 4. But I don't know. I think the snow's behind, actually, because it was supposed to be here by this evening. It is now tonight, and it's just now starting to snow. So, anyways, hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.